A new crosscut Elway poll suggests Governor Jay Inslee's presidential run didn't exactly help his reputation back home. But he's hoping voters this November will judge him on his performance here at the state capitol in Olympia. In the past, he has suggested new taxes, but this year he's trying a different approach to tackle his #1 priority, the homeless. You've brought up taxes for other ideas before. It's 2020. You're going for a third term. No taxes from you.
We got another way to do this.
Governor Jay Inslee's plan: tap into the state's emergency savings account, the rainy day fund, to give cities and counties $300 million to increase shelter space. But using the reserves requires a 2/3 majority from both the House and the Senate. And while Democratic leaders seem to like the idea, they say the votes likely are not there.
Now, if the legislators have a better idea, I'm happy to consider that. There is one thing, though, that we should not consider. We should not be taking out of schools to finance homelessness. We should not be taking money out of mental health services because some people need these services. So early to bed.
Now, about that run for president, half of the voters in the new crosscut Elway poll said it did not change their feelings about Inslee. 17% said it gave them a more positive opinion, but 29% said the campaign resulted in a more negative opinion of Jay Inslee. And what about concerns that a new president might pick Inslee for a cabinet position in D.C.? Are you willing to make any promises about?
I'm telling you that I intend to be governor of the state of Washington for the next 4 years if the people give me that option. That is my firm intention. And it's because I love this state.
And while those voters surveyed said they didn't love Inslee's presidential campaign last year, Inslee remains by far the front runner for this November's governor's race. Lawmakers get back to business here Monday at noon. In Olympia, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.